Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to be doing some fiberglassing. Haven't done it for a while. If you did see my previous video, you probably know why. Let's do it. Guys, clean up the bench. Hopefully it's enough room, but we're starting on the wide guards. Had a lot of scrubbing in that last video, so I want to pump those guards out and see how we go. Alright, so I'm going to have to clean these up, obviously, and take the flares off, and take this rubber gasket off as well, so it has a good seal as well, up against the guard. And just sand this back, because that paint will just lift, and we'll need to seal it in as well, so I'll use 2-part epoxy on there, and here. It should be alright with the paint actually if I sand it back good enough. And yeah, just cleaning up all the edges, taking clips out, making sure everything lines up properly. Take this clip out. Gonna have to make an edge around here for a joint. This will have to be a 2-part mould, so we can get the mounting on the back. Right, let's clean it up. Actually, I'll get the flare off first. Alright, I'm just going to take this off, guys. Just so we can get a better looking mould. That's the fiberglass would probably eat into the rubber. I don't think I've put a fiberglass over rubber before, so rough. Right, I'm gonna have to sand that all down, obviously. Alright guys, give it a wash. I'm going to hit it with the orbital sander to clean up this crappy paint. If you didn't know, many years ago I tried to wrap the bonnet when I had the engine out for the very first time, and it stuck to this side, took it off, and I did all this. Lifted the clear off. Before that, it was perfect. Yeah, sand it back and clean up all the edges here, make it look good. Get rid of the chips because that'll show up on the mould. Alright. Alright guys, about an hour later, I finished sanding it all. So I got out all the little chips as well. There's also some defects in the clear here, which was the same as at the top here, a little pinhead flaking bits. Didn't really hit this too hard because we're going to have that flare over it. But I got that glue line off. So yeah, let's work on the flare now. So with the flare, I really just need to clean up this edge here. So I'll quickly hit it with the sander. I'll probably take it back to the plastic anyways. Alright, I'm going to get the panel back over here. I'm going to wax and grease remove it and see how good we can get this to fit. Clips holding me in place. Alright, so I've got the 3 clips on. I'll give that a light sand. Might be able to hear that. It's a little bit rough. Alright, so we've got obviously a little bit of a gap. What I might do, let's get some silicone and run the edges with some silicone, clamp it down. Need to head off to the shops to get some clay. So I use clay for the edging, so we use clay along here so we can create a flange, because it will need to be a 2-piece to get this inner section on. Because we cannot have a mould that goes back on itself, otherwise it will lock in and you'll never get it out. So that there should be alright because it's such a small part. This bit here goes back. Really should do that part too. Mainly, well, then it'll be a three-part mould. I'm going to clamp it down, and any excess I'll wipe off with some wax and grease remover, and we'll head off to get the clay. Alright, so I can't find my other G-clamp, my orange one. So going to be using the one. I'm going to put it in the middle. See how we go. Alright, found these little ones. I have to find something to go behind, so it'll push onto the actual metal. Alright, there we go. Guess what I use, guys? Insulation tape. So I just stuck that behind the panel. Clamped it on. Pretty they're rubber, they're alright. I haven't got anything under it. Cleaned up the silicone. So these edges here that don't have the silicone, I might just put a little bit of the clay in there, and then I'll use a knife and I'll chop it so it's all the same. Yeah, just to fill it in. It comes out good on the mould. Right, go get some of this clay. Alright, I just got back from the shops. Best thing happened while I was at the shops. I got a free burrito. Birthday burrito. birthday's in 2 days, but it's actually the day that this episode airs, on Thursday the 7th. So, yay! Alright, I've taken the clamps off. It's looking alright. Might have to just fill it in just a little bit with the clay. Now I could use the gyprock, but that means it would have to be covered with the epoxy, or it will just come off with the mould. That is really easy to sand as well. See how I go. Here's the clay. There's the clay right there. Also guys, this clay, it's an air drying clay. So I'll keep it in a Ziploc bag after I've opened it. Here we go. Alright guys, I need to make a little flange here along this edge, so I will most likely use some sheet metal. Yeah, then I don't have to seal it. I will put wax and PVA release, but won't have to put a 2-part epoxy on it, which is good. So I'll end up screwing into this edge here, which I probably won't even use this on the car anymore anyway, so oh well. There we go boys, need to clean it up, get it on there. Perfect length. Alright, so I'm going to put 4 screws in this, 20 centimeters in from each end, 20 centimeters apart. That should get us looking pretty good. Sweet. So I'll drill some holes and then I'll screw it in. Screw the holes too high. You have to fill those ones in, won't I? Tack screws. That wasn't the smartest idea, putting both ends in first. Where did that other one go? Alright, we are screwed in. Yeah, we've got some gaps, but I'll fill it with the clay. And it doesn't matter that it's wavy, that's the flange, because it's a flange for both sides. So they'll match up anyways. Alright, I think I've done all my clay work. I'm going to put some wax, release wax on it now. Wax! metal like this as a flange as well. And we just built it up with clay. I'm about to throw the clay out, which I didn't know I didn't have to do. So I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on clay. And I didn't need to. Also, tomorrow being Wednesday, it's Marley's day off from school. His last Wednesday off, so I'm going to get a little bit more content done as from next week, just because he won't be around, which is good and bad. I do love hanging out with him. Last week we went to Time Zone, it's an arcade place. Right, I've got a coat of wax on there. That'll be buffed later tonight. PVA will be put on. Gel coat, and hopefully some fiberglass too. Some resin there. So hopefully we'll get that done. And then tomorrow I'll pop this off and we'll do the other side. Hey guys, I'm back. It's about 8:30 at night. And I buff this up a little bit more. So get a little bit more wax on and off it. And I'll put the PVA release. As you can see, we've got a bit of a gap there. So while it's dried, it's shrunk a little bit. It's not good, but the wax will fill that up, just like these edges here too, guys. As long as it doesn't lock on, I am happy. Alright, let's get to it. Right guys, so I haven't been here for a few hours, so all the little plugs I put in so it wouldn't lock on have dried up and they're falling out, so I need to redo them, and then I'll hit it with the PVA release, and we should get gel coat on tonight. Yeah, gel coat on tonight. I think that's what I'll finish the video off with the gel coat on. It is 8:30. Now guts to work early in the morning. That section there might be a bit of a problem. Might take it to just there for now. See how I go with the first one. If it doesn't work, I'll make a 3-piece mold. So this line here will be a join. And I'll do that section as well, and then the top section as well. So it'll be pretty much 100% OEM, except it's fiberglass. So all mounting. That little bit for the inner guard. Let's see. Gonna get the PVA out and paint it on. Right, PVA release. It's pretty old. We had it for this since my last house, so 5 or 6 years now. It's got flaky bits in it. and see how it goes. Been working fine, but I'm going to get a better shot. I'm going to change the angle. Alright, now it's just a waiting game for this to dry, and then I'll get the gel coat on. Alright, it's about 9:30 PM. It's nearly dry. There's a few little bits that are a little bit wet. Then go make a coffee and come back and it should be alright. Make a coffee, drink it, and come back. Been catching up on some other YouTube channels. Throttle and some other people. Ooh, I'm gonna watch Boosted and Built Garage while I wait, while I have my coffee.
Well guys, I never thought I'd say this, but I am fucking over cars right now. Seriously, I am so sick of working for a deadline.
Oh, Carl.
I was here last night until about 11 o'clock at night, getting this thing ready, had everything fucking go wrong. Oh my god. I even did the most... I don't even know what to tell you guys.
Come on. Wow, got a little bit distracted there. It's now 10 o'clock. Right, let's mix up some gel coat. Make it look like yogurt. Weigh it out. And let's brush it on. And I'll let it sit overnight. Got 500 grams in there, so I'll put 8mm of the hardener for about 15-20 minute drying time. Hopefully I got enough in there. Alright, 500 grams of gel coat. Actually covered this up pretty good. Well, I need to remember 500 grams is the number. Actually, that's that little point there. I haven't got any gloves on. Don't get me. It's going to be a really hard point do. There's the flange. Is good. Alright, I'm going to let that sit overnight. And when I finish work in the morning, chop up some fiberglass and get some resin ready, and I'll chuck the fiberglass on. Once the fiberglass is done, that metal flange will come off. So then the fiberglass and the gel coat will be the flange. Then we can start on the mounting point that goes under the bonnet. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this episode, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Got some more fog glassing coming up. Tuning on the Forester as well. I'm looking at Brom Raider. Just need to learn a little bit more. So stay tuned, guys. Some good things are coming. Bye.